Hello, my loves. I haven't done a reading in a couple of days. Just been doing other things. I don't know, trying to keep my mind busy, I think. But some things I want to note before I start this reading is right now, I just changed my calendar to like the next month, and it's like hanging right here. And the thing that's standing out to me is the two different colors of the moth wings, and it's calling for me, like, for a transformation. I know I've been getting like a lot of messages that have to do with physical transformation, and like finding the motivation to do that physical transformation, like putting in the work. I know my foot, I know this sounds random, but like my foot right here has been hurting, and I looked up like the reflexology of it on the top of your foot, and that has to do with like your eyes and ears. And I know my ears, like the last 2 or 3 days, they've been ringing like, I wouldn't say non-stop, but they've been ringing a lot, especially my right ear, which also has to do with like positive changes, growth, transformation. I've been listening to, I just found this one song, and like so on the weekends I like to read, and I'm currently reading Fourth Wing. I'm on the second book, Iron Flame, and I like to like create playlists like to listen to while I'm reading as like background music. Sometimes it's like instrumentals, but I found this one song that I like. I think it's called The First Time by Damiano something. I found it off of TikTok, as I find most songs. We have the Six of Cups. I don't know. I feel like something is changing and shifting. Gotta say, I hope something's changing and shifting. We have the Magician. I know I've been getting like... Okay. We also have the Hermit and the Two of Cups. But... I don't know. I had a pretty rough day Friday at work, and it was just one of those days where as much as I've been like, I hate this job, I can't keep doing this job and whatever else, I've like kept going, but like I've kept going because I'm trying to let something else take off. And the Star card and the Judgment card, along with, I don't know if these are relevant, but we also have the Empress, the Ace of Cups, Justice, and the Ten of Cups, which I'm going to put on the side. But it pretty much like went down to, my boss was literally sitting next to me, talking to my other boss on the phone. Like, pretty much, he had told me that I needed to do this certain thing when it comes to moving in new people for rentals. And so I did that, and then I got in trouble for it. And he was sitting next to me, because his desk is next to mine, and he was talking to my other boss, and he was talking about how if people don't know how to do their jobs, then we should be lowering their pay or finding a new worker that knows how to do their job. And I just like, in my head I was like, I can't, like, I should not keep doing this. Like, it wasn't even, I can't keep doing this, it's I should not keep doing this. So we'll see what this reading has to do with, because I think it has like a couple of different levels to it. And we'll see how my intuition is doing, because I don't know, I just feel like something is veiling for something to come that I'm not supposed to know about. So I don't necessarily know if this reading is going to go all that well. We'll see. Okay, so with the Six of Cups, I see this not only as like balance and harmonization, with 6 being the number, but I also see, like, I see it as you looking into your inner child, and you're taking the time to nurture your inner child. And I'd say that that may come with whatever transformation you're going through. There is something that's needing to be healed. And with the Magician and the Hermit, I see it that, like, you know what needs to be done. Like, I'm getting this from a dream, because this was a message I got in the dream, which was pretty much like, you know what you need to do, but you need to find the motivation to do it. And like, I see that with the Magician, with like her hands, where she's like, she looks determined, is what I would say. And with the Hermit, I just say that this is you looking into yourself and knowing what it is you want and you need. And I'd say with that comes balance and connection, whether that be with a friend. This looks like a love interest to me, but I would say that because a lot of my readings talk about how it's a love interest and also like a business change, I would say that like there's just some sort of connection where you're going off to doing other things. And I think that's because you're well attuned with your higher self. And with the Judgment card, for some reason when I'm looking at the Judgment card, so like, I think it's, so I have the Justice card here. This was like one of the cards that I pulled that I didn't know if I was going to be doing anything with. But with the Judgment card and the Justice card, for some reason when I look at this third eye that is right here, I see that like as the veiling, but I see that as like things are being served in your favor. And it almost to me kind of seems like your guides are like, not even in the good sense. In the good sense, they just don't want you to know what's to come, because they want to surprise you and it be something where you're like thinking it's like out of a fairy tale or whatever. Not in the sense where you're like delusional, but like you're like, oh my god, is this really happening? But with the parts of it, like what doesn't serve you being like taken out of your life and stuff like that, it's almost like your guides are like, you don't need to watch this. Like, don't watch this. This is gonna get messy, and you don't need to be here for that. And I see with the Empress cards, I see this as a time where like abundance and fertility is coming in. And so, I don't know, if you're gonna be, you know, doing the do, be careful with that. If you're not ready for that level. And I see with the Ace of Cups and the Ten of Cups that all your cups are being fulfilled, a cycle is being closed out, and with the Ace of Cups, I see that as a new beginning with fulfillment in different areas, that in new areas. That's all I'm going to leave it at. Let's see if I have any time for one of these, but maybe not. Probably not. I'm just gonna pull the top one. Luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius. I'll pull the bottom one as well. Ooh. A fiery climax approaches. Okay then. Yeah, I see that as This week's gonna be interesting.